Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Are your hips tight or are you feeling restricted and just need to loosen up? Today we will use a technique called Self Myofascial Release, or SMR, with a foam roller and a tennis ball to soften those tight spots. When we soften the tissues, we can stretch easier and move our joints better. I will also show you how to use a yoga strap to do some nerve glides and stretching. So let's get started. We're going to begin seated on that roller, starting with our glutes. Let's start on the left butt cheek. So you're going to reach back and place your left hand on the floor, left butt cheek on the roller. Use your feet to roll yourself to the top and bottom of that glute. So as we work through the different areas all connected to the hips, we're going to really loosen things up. As we foam roll on the glutes, it's like giving ourselves a deep tissue massage using the SMR, Self Myofascial Release, all the way to the bottom. Try to go over those sits bones, almost hitting the hamstrings, and then all the way to the top of that glute, almost till you get to the back, and then back down. So we want to get a really big range of motion and range of area, rolling up and down. One more, and then we're going to bring that left ankle across your right thigh, open up the knee, and repeat. And you want to try to go all the way to the sits bone. So you have to sit up kind of tall, and then lean backwards as you slide to the top of that glute, and then to the bottom. Keep working your way through the middle. And then we're going to find the middle of the glute, and we're going to rock it side to side. So going from the middle of the body towards the outside edge of that glute, bringing that knee over and then up, and then scoot your body forward so the roller goes to the top of the glute, and again, rock it side to side. Find any tender spots, and then we're going to drop to our elbow. Extend that left leg and then pull it in towards the chest and then extend it out. So you're leaning back just on that left butt cheek towards the top, pulling it in and out all the way. Might find some spots, maybe you don't find anything. One more. Pull it in and out. Good. Then we're going to slide off the roller. You're going to straighten out the legs. So we want to get right into that glute hip area. You're going to pull that left leg across, give it a hug, squeeze it in, and get a good stretch, maybe a little bit of a twist through the upper back and all the way lengthening through the spine. Nice deep stretch. Then you're going to take that same leg and pull it over a little tighter, so the knees are almost stacked. Turn a little sideways. Really pull that left foot. So the outside edge of your left foot is on the floor, and the bottom of your foot is facing towards the back. You're going to still hold on to that knee, that left knee with the right hand, and give it a little twist. So we're getting a little more to the outside edge. One more breath. And then we're going to release, and then keep that foot way across so the outside edge is still there. The knee is pulled tight. Now pull that knee up into the chest. So you're going to feel a little more intense of a stretch. And you're trying to get your right shoulder towards your left knee and vice versa. Left knee to the right shoulder. And breathe in. And then we're going to release. We're going to let that leg go out in front, give it a shake, and we're going to switch to the right side. So now you're going to climb back up on your roller. Lean back on the right arm, right butt cheek, and you're going to go to the top of the glute and then all the way to the bottom. So as we roll the glute as well, and when we get into these different areas and stretch in that hip and that glute out, it will also help with any low back issues. If your back is really tight, this is very helpful. So all the way to the top of the glute, and then you sit up tall past those sits bones, getting almost to that hamstring. We're going to also touch on the hamstring today with the tennis ball, getting in there deep. We're going to do some different stretching with PNF and the strap. Get some lengthening in that tissue and those muscles, get them a little more mobile. All the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. One more. Then you're going to bring that right ankle over the left thigh, open it up, and then roll again to the top and the bottom of the glute, both ways. Noticing the difference. If your wrist gets tired, you are welcome to go maybe on your knuckles, or you can jump ahead of time onto the elbow before we get there. Top and to the bottom. Now you're going to find the middle, towards the middle of the glute, rock it side to side. Bringing the knee towards the floor and then back up to the midline. Then move your body just slightly forward. You go a little higher on that glute, rock it side to side. And then we're going to drop it to the elbow. When you go to the elbow, you're towards the top of that glute. Straighten out that right leg. And then pull it in towards the chest. And then release it straight again. So again, this is just another way to pin and stretch, pin and massage that area at the glute. In and out with that leg. Give me two more. Pull it in and release. We have one more. In and release. Excellent. We're going to slide off that roller. Extend the legs out in front of you. Sit tall. Pull that right foot across the left thigh. Place it flat on the floor. Lengthen through the spine and then wrap your left elbow or arm around that right knee. And let's just get a nice twist, nice and tall. So the bottom of your foot is flat on the floor. Straighten out that left leg. And just feel that nice glute hip stretch. And breathe. Now we're going to take that leg, release, bring it further across. So you're trying to get the knees to stack, and you want the outside edge. I'm actually going to turn this way so you can see. So your left leg is straight. The bottom of your foot is facing the back wall, and the outside edge is there. Lift and twist again. And you're pulling on that right knee, just getting it a little extra pull through the outside edge of that hip. Then keeping it there, you're going to pull the knee up nice and tight. It's a little more challenging, a little deeper stretch here. So your foot isn't quite going flat on the floor. You're still on the outside edge, but you're bringing that knee up. Trying to bring your knee towards your chest or armpit, towards the knee. One more breath. And then we're going to release that leg, extend it out. Good. Give it a shake out in front of you. We're going to place the roller to the side, and we're going to use the tennis ball now. So grab hold of your tennis ball, if you have a racquetball, whatever you have, around the same size and not too hard. We'll start with the left leg. You can start with either leg. We're going to do both. You're going to sit nice and tall, bend that left knee nice and high. Take that tennis ball and just push it towards the top of your hamstring, almost to your glute. You're not leaning over because we don't want to go into the glute. We're just doing the hamstring. Then you're going to straighten out that left leg so that it presses into the hamstring, into the ball. Hands behind the back, whatever feels good to you. And then start to rock your left leg side to side. So you're rolling across that heel. You might feel it. Now, if you're leaning back and you're like, no problem, you can start to lean forward. That's going to rotate the hips. It's going to cause a little more intensity on that hamstring when you're rolling because it's pulling it tighter. Option 2, you can also slide your foot, the left leg side to side. If you find a spot that's a little tender, bend and straighten that left knee and pump that foot as you ease that tennis ball into that hamstring and out. So adjust your pressure by leaning forward or back. Again, and then you bend the knee, slide the tennis ball an inch forward so it's going towards the knee. And then again, rock the heel or slide that foot, find a spot, press that leg like you're pumping a gas pedal. And just adjust. Maybe it's more to the outside edge of that hamstring. Maybe you're more on the inside edge. Everybody's a little different. And just make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. If it gets tiring sitting up, you can also use the roller by pushing it into that low back and having it support you. And then you can lean forward a little easier. We're going to move that tennis ball down again. So we're just going to continue moving it down till we get towards the back of the knee, but we never go all the way behind the knee. You're just going to keep working it that way. Getting close. Find a spot, so you slide, you rotate, and you pump that leg. And then move that tennis ball a little down, closer to the knee. Slide it, pump it. It might not be as sensitive as you get closer to the knee. It might be a little looser. That's a good thing. And then a little closer. If there's a spot that's a little bit sensitive and you might need to get a little deeper into it or spend a little more time, you can always come back to it. Or you could stay there and then catch up. So we're getting pretty close to the knee, but I'm not going behind the knee joint, just right above it, especially on that lateral head of the connective tissue there. You might feel on the, that's kind of more the outside edge, back edge of that leg. Might notice something going on there, or the inside. So right along the outside and inside, it could be a little more tender. When you're done with that, we're going to go to the other leg. So now you're going to bend the right knee, push that tennis ball under the thigh, and then lean into it again. And rock that leg side to side, and then draw the leg. Moving it, sliding it. Again, maybe leaning into it, bend and straighten that leg. Then moving the tennis ball down an inch, closer to the knee. The hamstring can be a little challenging to get to. So just take your time, notice what's going on. Notice if one hamstring is tighter than the other. Again, rock it on the heel, then slide that whole leg. Maybe lean into it a little more. Pump the leg. Did you find a spot yet? Or a bunch? And then pump it. A lot of times people feel like their hamstrings are really tight. Many times it's just that it's overstretched and it gets kind of stuck there. A little bit closer. So we want to get that moving. It's because we sit a lot. Again, just remember, side to side with the leg, sweep it, and then pump it. Leaning forward, especially when you get towards the back of the knee. If you find a spot, just pump that leg. One more, almost there. When you are done, when you get to the bottom of that hamstring, you're just going to take the tennis ball and go ahead and put it to the side. So we're going to stretch out and really work on lengthening through that hamstring, which connects all the way up into the glute. So we're going to use the strap here. Go ahead and slide your roller out of the way. Then unwind your strap. If you do not have a strap, you can use a belt, a towel will work as well. And we're going to lay all the way onto our backs. Now we started with the left leg, so we're going to start here with the left foot. So you're going to place your left foot in your strap, and then go ahead and straighten out your right leg to the floor. And then just lengthen your arms, let the leg relax here. Now as you take a breath in, I want you to feel your belly expanding like a balloon, upwards, also down towards the spine, towards the mat, out to the side, so all 360 degrees. Expand that belly. And then as you exhale, think about how the muscles are firing and keep it strong with the expanded, but yet you're still exhaling. So we want to support that spine. So the belly is in, but you're pushing still into the back of the mat. Now you're going to start to lift that leg to wherever it feels comfortable. Some of you might be way up here, some of you here. There's no right or wrong. Listen to your body. So we're going to do one thing. It's called nerve flossing or nerve glides. So you're going to find a comfortable position, not force it. As you pull your leg up to the sky, tilt your head and look backwards over your head. If you start to feel it, that's where you stop. And then bring your chin towards your chest as your leg lowers. And then again, lift the head and then tilt it down as you lower your leg. So it's just a small, gentle movement. It all connects our nervous system, the spinal cord goes, feeling it from the neck all the way down. Just loosening things up. Nerve glides. And then back down one more time. Tilt the head, lift the leg, and then lower the leg, bring the head to neutral. Now we're going to see how much further we can go stretching wise. So you're going to lift the leg to where it's comfortable, and you're going to start to push your foot into the strap. Push it as hard as you can, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Now relax the leg and see how much higher it goes. Pretty cool, huh? We're going to do that one more time. So push your foot, keep the leg straight, push it into the strap. Don't forget your belly's tight. 3, 2, 1, and then relax the leg. And I bet you can bring that leg higher. Just a little bit of fun to get that hamstring stretching. So we're going to switch legs. Bring that right leg into the strap. Left leg goes to the floor. So we're also going to do the nerve glides on this leg. So you might notice one leg goes higher than the other. And we're going to start to lift the right leg and tilt your head back, look over your head, and then bring your leg down as you look towards the knee or tuck the chin. Lift the leg, tilt the head, and then release, back down. Good, 2 more times. Lift the head, lift the leg, and back down. And then 1 more. The leg, and then back to neutral. Now lift the leg to where it feels good to you, and you're not straining. It's just very comfortable. There's not like a intense stretch. And then start to push your foot into the strap. 1, 2, as hard as you can, 3, 4, and then relax the leg and see how much higher up you can get that leg. Let that left leg stay on the floor, right leg is up. Here we go. We're going to push it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then relax and see how much higher that leg can go. So hopefully you got a little more flexibility going in that hamstring, back of the leg. Let's bring both legs up, place them in the strap. Take a breath in and just relax those hips on the floor for a moment. Feels very good. Good, then we're gonna hug the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze, and then you can release your strap, and we're gonna roll all the way up. And just place your strap to the side for right now. We're going to come back to the roller, and we're gonna bring the roller right in front of us. So we got the back of the legs, now we're gonna go to the front. So we got the glutes and the hamstrings, so let's go to the front. So most of the day when we're doing our motions, we're doing in the sagittal plane, forward, back, forward, back. That's how we're moving. So we are going to get that area loosened up. So we're going to come to an elbow plank. The roller is right above those knees, and you're going to gently roll your body forward and back 1 inch. 1 inch above the knees, being mindful not to hit the kneecaps. Make sure your belly and your core is working. You're not sagging through the back. Pushing the shoulders away from the ears. Then we're going to walk our elbows back 1 inch, so the roller moves up the thigh 1 inch, and move forward and back. Now the goal here is to try to relax those quads as much as you can. Relax your glutes. Keep rolling, walk the elbows back again. Enjoy that SMR, that Self Myofascial Release, or that our personal little deep tissue massage. It's just like that on the quad. So if it's sensitive, just keep working through it. Take breaks if you need it. Work it up a little higher. Forward, back. And then a little higher. You're going to keep going up those quads till the roller can't go any higher comfortably. When we get to the top of the quad, sometimes it can get a little sensitive. Just gently rock your hips side to side. Then we're going to slide off the back of the roller. We're going to do a quick stretch for the quads over the knees, right in here. Then we're going to get deeper with the tennis ball and go up into those hip flexors. So go ahead and actually you can keep the roller in front of you. And then just lean forward. Melt the belly between the thighs. Head towards the floor and really just stretch out not only the knees and the quads, but the back and the shoulders. And then we're going to come all the way back up. Now we're going to set that roller to the side again. We're going to use the tennis ball again. So we're going to be laying on our bellies, and you're going to place the tennis ball pretty much in the middle top part of your quad, in the nice meaty part. So we're going to work it here, then we're going to be moving it up. I'll show you in a second. So go ahead and come to your belly. Place your right hand as a fist under your chin, and then tilt your body to the right and place that tennis ball right in the middle of your left quad, left upper thigh. And then just let your body rest on top of it. You can bring both hands under your chin. Then you're going to slowly bend your left knee. Anybody feel that? Oh my goodness. And then straighten it. If it's really intense, don't put as much pressure on that tennis ball. So just straighten and bend that leg nice and slow and notice what's going on. One more. Straighten and bend. From here now, you're going to lean slightly to your right side. You're going to take that tennis ball and you're going to move it up into your hip flexor. So you were in the top of the thigh. Now you're going to roll it up probably a couple inches. So right where that hip would bend, you can even try it out. That's where the tennis ball is going to go. Right in that hip flexor. You're going to go back onto it. Belly down on your belly, hands under your chin, and then you're going to bend that left knee and straighten it. So that tennis ball is right inside that hip flexor. So that all attaches, that quad comes up into that hip flexor. We're going to get a little higher too. We're going to go into that psoas. One more, bend and straighten. Then you're going to roll again to your right side. That tennis ball is going to move from your hip flexor. You're going to find your hip bone. So you're going to go up another 2 inches or so. Find that hip bone, bring that tennis ball right on the inside edge of the bone, and you're going to roll on top of it. Again, belly on the floor, hands under your chin, and just let your belly surround it as you breathe in and expand through the belly. As you exhale, let everything relax. If it's really intense, just take a little pressure off, move around, make adjustments that you need to. Then you're going to bend and straighten that left leg. And you might notice something. Maybe your psoas is a little bit tight. This is one of it. It's a hard muscle to get to, so this is a good way to get in there. And keep breathing, bending and straightening. One more time. Then you're going to straighten out the leg and let your chin rest on your hands and just feel the difference. Feel how the body's melting around that tennis ball. Then you're going to release the tennis ball. Go ahead and place it on the side. Now, because we're on the side, we're going to continue here. I want you to use your strap. You can probably reach your foot as well, but I want you to really try. If I can get my strap on my foot. All right, so you're going to take your strap, you're going to wrap it around your foot. Some of you probably can reach your foot. But this is just going to give us a little more of a relaxation, and we can get a little more into that hip flexor. Use your strap to wrap around your foot and just pull your foot towards your glute. And then just try to relax your glute, bring your knees together. Some of you might be wanting to grab your foot and pull it in a little tighter. That is an option as well. You can also push your foot into the strap and lift a little higher off the floor. If you have sciatic or hamstring issues, you probably won't be able to do this. I'm having some sciatic issues, so that's not happening today for me. Then you're going to release that foot, that strap. You can take it off the foot and just set it to the side. So we're going to go to the other quad now. I'm just going to turn around so you can see. So now we're going to take that tennis ball and we're going to go in the top of the right quad. So you're going to lay back down onto the belly, left hand under your chin, and then place that tennis ball right in the middle of that right quad. And then bend and straighten. And notice the difference on this side. Bend and straighten. And adjust your, how much tension you're putting on it one more time. Then you're going to let the leg go straight and try to relax onto that tennis ball. Then you're going to take the tennis ball and you're going to move it up a couple inches. You're going into that hip flexor. So maybe bend the knee, find that soft spot, and then roll onto that tennis ball. Bring both hands under your chin, and then you're going to bend and straighten. Massaging out that hip flexor. You might have some tenderness there. Again, take the pressure off. So as we work all this connective tissue, we'll be able to get more range of motion and more mobility in our hips, maybe even the back. One more, and then let your leg just relax, melt onto that hip flexor. We have one more spot for the tennis ball. You're going to roll to your side, take that tennis ball, move it up, find that hip bone, and then bring it all the way on the inside of the bone, and then roll onto the belly. And once you're there, make adjustments on that psoas, and then you're going to bend that knee, that right knee, and straighten. It's not a fast movement. It's slow and gentle. Take a little pressure off if it's too intense. If you want, you can lean more into it. Maybe you adjust your body forward or back, depending. Then you're going to slowly come off of that tennis ball, move it to the side. Let's get our strap. And we're going to stretch out that quad. So slide your strap onto the foot or your belt or towel, whatever you're using. Come back to the belly and then pull it over your head. Pull the strap so you can really stretch. This is a great way, you're getting deeper into that quad, up into the hip flexor that we just rolled. So maybe the knee can come off the floor and you can get a little higher. If you are going into the low back on this, then you want to make sure that you engage that core and maybe not pull the leg as high. And breathe. One more breath. And then release. Good. And then we're going to come out of that. We're going to slide all the way up. Go ahead and place that strap to the side. We're going to bring the bottoms of the feet together. Hold on to the ankles. And then we're just going to do a butterfly. And you're going to flap those knees up and down. Loosen things up for the inner thigh. So we did the front and the back, and we're just going to do a little bit of butterfly dynamic stretching for these inner thighs, get things moving. And then sit nice and tall. So your back should be, your hips should feel much looser now. We're going to pull the knees in together, give them a squeeze. And then sit nice and tall. And hopefully your hips feel looser. We got some myofascial release done in there. Now from here, bring the roller back across the mat, and we're going to transition onto our back. So if you have long hair, you might want to pull it out of the way, or a long shirt. We're going to roll the upper back. So you're going to bring that roller about mid shoulder blades, fingertips behind the ears, looking up at the sky. Make sure you're relaxing your head into your hands, and then lift the hips and roll from the top of the shoulder blades to the bottom. So maybe you'll get a nice chiropractic adjustment here. And one more roll. And then find the middle of the shoulder blades, lower those hips, open up that chest. And then draw your knees to the left, roll into the left armpit, elbow to the floor, all the way to the chest wall. And then roll yourself back to the center, and then all the way to the right side, elbow on the floor, towards the chest. And then back again to the left, rolling across the back. And then one more time, all the way to the right. And remember, if you're missing lymph nodes, don't roll into the armpit or chest wall. You want to stay back, just back here on those shoulder blades, but you can still drop the knees. Back to the left side, last one to the right. I think I said that before, but we're giving an extra one. Why not? And then back to center. And then open up the chest. Elbows wide, lengthen through the neck. Option here to straighten out those legs. Feel the length. Feel that breath coming in through the nose, expanding your belly. And then exhale, relaxing. Then lift your head, bend your knees. And now we're going to go on to our neck. So go ahead and let your head go on the roller like a pillow. And you're going to tilt your head to the left, and you're going to give your head a nod. You want to have that roller right around the base of the skull, the occipital bone. Give it a nod, yes and no. And then draw circles. And then change direction. Then you're going to turn your head to the right. Right on the base of the skull there, you're feeling the back of the ear, maybe touching the roller. And then nod yes and no. Draw circles. One direction, then the other. Then bring your head to the middle of the roller, looking up at the sky. Hold on to the outside edges of the roller and draw your head to the left. So now you're trying to go basically above the ear with the roller, and draw the head yes and no, circles, both directions. And then the other side, yes and no, and circles. And then back to the center, and let your chin drift towards your chest. Get a nice stretch through the neck. And then release your head to neutral. And bring that roller out from underneath the head. And you're going to bring the roller underneath your knees. Feet on the far side. Now you're going to lift that roller, lift your hips, and bring the roller right under the low back and the tailbone. And then you're going to hug the right knee into the chest and extend the left leg to the front of the mat. But don't let it touch. Just feel that nice hip stretch, that hip flexor. Shoulders are relaxed. And then very slowly switching legs. Holding that left knee into the chest. The leg that's extended, go ahead and bring both feet back to the floor, bend the knees. And then push the roller out from under your glutes and back onto the floor. And then place your feet on the roller. And you're going to bring your arms to cactus arms. And you're just going to draw your knees gently from side to side. So you're going to might get a little snap, crackle, pop, or loosening things up through the hips and the back. One more time each side. And then you'll release to center. And let's hug the knees into the chest, give them a squeeze and a rock side to side, massaging out that low back. Then from here, you're going to hold on to the right knee and extend the left leg all the way out. Maybe bring the roller's still there, so maybe put your left calf right in the middle on that roller. Press into the calf on the roller and hug that right knee into the chest. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. And just feel that length. Things are more leveled out here. Then from here, you're going to pull your left knee into the chest and release the right leg. Put the right foot or right calf onto that roller. Leveling things out, pushing into the roller and hugging that left knee. Then release the left foot, place it on the floor closer to the body so the roller is out of the way in front of you, and then bring both feet flat and then walk the bottoms of the feet together and open the knees for a supine butterfly. Just opening things up. Relax the upper body. And then we're going to pull the knees in together, bottoms of the feet back on the floor. Go ahead and take a bridge. Lift your hips up, lengthening through the spine. If you'd like a little more and want to try it, you can put your feet on the roller and lift your hips as well. You'll get a little more length. You'll go a little higher. Lengthening. And then whichever way you are, start to lower your hips to the floor. And then we're going to straighten out the legs and start to roll yourself up. Bring your calves on top of that roller. Hands behind the back. Cross your left leg over the right, and let's just massage out that calf. So bending and straightening that right knee. And turning that leg from side to side as you bend and straighten. Then we're going to go to the other leg. Cross the right ankle foot over the left and then bend and straighten. Massaging out that calf. And then we're going to release. Go ahead and bring the roller to the side. We're going to stretch everything, the back, the calf, the hamstrings. We're going to come to tabletop We're going to work our way to a downward facing dog. Spread out your fingers and lift those hips, and then pedal out those feet. Walk your dog. And just notice how the hips can shift, how much closer your heels get to the floor. And breathe. Walk your feet nice and wide, and then soften the knees and push yourself back into a wide-legged downward facing dog. Up into the toes, back into the heels. And then I'm going to have you walk your feet about hip distance apart, bend the knees slightly, and really slide into that down dog again. Back up into the toes, into the heels, and then lower yourself all the way to the knees. Separate your knees, feet together, child's pose, and then melt to the ground. See if you can get a little lower now, too. Your hips might be a little looser. Deep breath in, and then let it out. And then slowly coming back up from your child's pose. Bring those legs in front. Straighten them out. We're going to bend the right knee and pull that right foot up against the left inner thigh. Lift nice and tall. Turn your chest towards your left leg and just reach forward. So as you're reaching forward, you might feel a stretch through the right back hip and glute area. So we had a nice quick fix on those hips, stretching, rolling and stretching those areas. Getting in a little deeper. Feeling that stretch, the lengthening of the tissue, and then walk your hands up. And let's switch legs. Extend the right, bend the left knee, bring that foot in as close as it feels comfortable. Maybe it's more at the knee or the shin, that's fine. Lengthen through the spine, twist towards your right leg, and then lean into it. And just notice what you're feeling in the opposite hip and back. Reaching the arms forward. If you're collapsing and rounding too much through the upper back, make sure you're lengthening slightly so you go into those hamstrings as well. So you're still getting the hip stretch because we're reaching that left arm across towards the right foot. Getting a little bit of a rotation, but still getting that right hamstring. Then we're going to slowly walk it up. Let's try that butterfly one more time. Bet it feels a little easier. Sitting nice and tall, start to pull the elbows towards your rib cage as you hinge forward, staying tall through the spine. And then coming up, hugging the knees into the chest, lift nice and tall. We'll do one more, try one more stretch. We're going to try another stretch for the hips. So with your feet out in front of you, you're going to take your right foot, and I'll be like your mirror, so I'll go the opposite, and you're going to bring it underneath your left ankle, but line up the ankle so it's right against it. It's kind of farther out from the body. It's not tucked in tight. And then walk the other foot right in front of it. So you're stacking your left knee on top of your right foot. Option is to bring your foot on top of your opposite knee. You can also put your roller in front of your knee and put your foot on top of it. That is an option if the foot doesn't go on top of the knee. And then just start to lean forward. So you want both glutes, hips to stay on the floor and just lean into it. So you can really feel those hips stretching. Let's turn our bodies to the one side, left side maybe first, lowering the elbows to the floor or as close as they can go comfortably, and then moving to the right So if your roller is out in front, you can always reach for that roller. If you have a little more range of motion in your hips, maybe you can get your nose to your toe. And then we're going to walk those hands up. Bring the hands behind the back. Slowly lift those legs and bring them back to center and give them a rock side to side. We get to do the other side. So you're going to place your feet flat on the floor. This time you're going to take your left ankle and line it up with your right foot. So it's tucked under, so you're on the outside edge of that leg. Bring the opposite foot in front of the knee. Again, option, you can always bring the roller in front of that left knee and place the foot on top of the roller, or a yoga block works great too, or stack those legs. So the foot, remember, is not tucked way underneath. That makes it too easy. So you want to stretch through those hips, start to lean forward. We're nice and tall through the spine. You're keeping your bottom on the floor. Walking the hands to the right. Maybe nose to knee. Feeling that stretch to the opposite hip. And then we're going to transition to the other side. Maybe the toe to the nose, or nose to toe. And you're breathing. And then we're coming up back through center. Reach the hands behind the back. Open up that chest. Slowly release the legs. And go ahead and slide that roller behind you, out of the way. Give the knees a squeeze. Sit up nice and tall. And then we're going to cross the legs. Open them up to however feels comfortable to you. Lengthen through the spine, draw the chin into alignment, ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.